What's going on, world? And welcome back to the Pursuit of the Good Life podcast, your favorite podcast that helps you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host with the most, your favorite coach, the Kameron Lovelace, helping you create your version of the good life every single Thursday. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? We are officially in the swing of February. Black History Month is full swing. Super Bowl just passed, and here we are. Into the new year, like 2021. It feels real now. You know what I'm saying? Because that first month is kind of like that trial run. It's kind of like it still feels like the residue of the previous year. And now that we're in February, it's like okay, yeah, now it's officially 2021. Now it's time to seriously make some things happen. Last year is behind us, and we're moving forward with this year. So this week we do not have a guest, but it's okay. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. Of course, I told y'all we're going to do this every single Thursday until I am physically incapable of doing so. But I want to take this time before we bring in some more guests that are coming up. We got some really good guests lined up. But I want to take this time to review what we've taken away from our previous guests, right? And so something that really stuck out to me because I listen to other podcasts naturally as a podcaster. I listen to other podcasts, and one interview that I was listening to really stuck out. And it was the thought was a lesson that isn't learned is destined to be repeated. I'm gonna say that slow for the people in the back. A lesson that is not learned is destined to be repeated, right? And so that's why we're gonna slow down and kind of I want to digest like my biggest tip that I've taken from some of the past interviews, and that is beginning with the end in mind when creating your version of the good life. Beginning with the end in mind when you're creating your version of the good life. So can't okay, so you talking that talk right now, Cameron, but break that down. Okay. So when one of the first interviews, Dr. Owa, go back, the educational guru, go check that out. He talked about how when he graduated college, his goal was immediately to get himself in a better position to get the promotion. And so immediately after school, whereas some people, when they graduate, when they get their degree, they kind of chill. They kind of go into cruise control for a little bit. It's like, okay, yeah, great. I got my degree. I got my first job. Great. Let me just chill and relax for a little minute. But with him, he always knew that he wanted to be a upper level administrator, whether it be, educational specialist, whether it be a principal and a superintendent. And he's gone on to do all of these things, right? And so I was thinking about some other people that I've talked to, and also looking at my own journey. Because you see, back when I was 17 years old, I knew that I didn't want like a regular job. I didn't want to sit at a desk all day, uh, working with accounts, working with figures, working with businesses, and I knew I wanted to do something that worked with people, right? Maybe even I thought I wanted to work with kids, maybe in a high school setting. I thought I did, but I was like, okay. After doing some soul searching, I really was like, okay, I think I really want to be a counselor, right? So what does it take to be a counselor? This is the question I'm asking myself at 17. And I'm looking at, okay, to be a therapist, to be a mental health counselor, you can't just walk out of college and then start just counseling people. No, no, no. You need to have a license. And if you don't have a license, then you have to work for a company or a private practice like I do, and you work under somebody else's license to counsel, right? And so, but the only way to get those jobs is if you get your master's, right? So the bachelor's degree in psychology is not enough. It's not enough to begin to do counseling. So you have to pass. the bachelor's and then get into a master's. Well, the only way to get into a master's degree program is if you do reasonably well in your bachelor's degree work, right? So at 17, I'm already looking at what is it going to take to get to the goal that I'm trying to get to. And so fast forward, let's say I graduated when I was like 26. So fast forward about 8, 9 years later, a bachelor's degree experience, I was able to achieve that goal, but I wouldn't have achieved that goal if I didn't stay focused on, I'm trying to get to this degree. I'm trying to get to this goal. And the only way I would have got there is if I had stayed focused within myself between all the distractions with, being in college, which I'm gonna let you guys have your own imagination of the different distractions that I faced. But if I let those distractions deter me from my path, then I might not have been able to get where I was trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So let's say I took a semester off and just like went wild, like because and y'all saying that y'all gonna shock when I say this. I've known somebody who has had a 0.97 GPA for a semester, a 0.97. And obviously they had to make up all of those classes, right? But if I had a semester like that, I'm really looking back and seeing if I had a semester like that where I was distracted, where I wasn't doing my homework, where I wasn't mentally right, where I wasn't physically right, that probably would have delayed or maybe completely shifted like my choices. Because if I had messed up where I was, then getting to where I'm trying to get to as a counselor, it wouldn't have worked, right? And so it's so important to begin with the end in mind, with what you're trying to do. Just like, and let's take a step back from the career part for a second. Let's make this personal, right? Let's say your goal one day is to be married. Realistically, your goal one day is to be married, and not just get married, but stay married, right? So, but let's say you come from a family where your communication skills, they ain't too hot. Because one of the real goals to one of the real things that you need to stay married is your ability to communicate when tensions get tight. Not just communicate, but specifically communicate when something is happening, when there's pressure either on your side or their side, or something that's outside that's affecting the both of you. How are you communicating through those rough times, right? So let's say you come from a family that does not subscribe to such a theology, right? Like when stuff is tight, you guys start yelling at each other. You guys scream at each other. You guys throw things at each other. You guys hurt one another. When you guys are talking to each other, you're going for the jugular, right? You guys aren't throwing any punches. You guys aren't talking to reach solutions. You guys are arguing to be correct, right? And so, but you say that your desire is to have, a marriage that maybe you never had, to be a father, to be a mother that you've never been, that you've never had, that you wanted or subscribed to. But you are not putting yourself in a position to work towards that. Because you don't become a great father. You don't become a great mother. You don't become a great husband. You don't become a great wife. You don't become a great person overnight. You set the mark, you set the bar that you're trying to get to, and then you start working day by day towards that goal, that ideal picture of manhood, of womanhood, of godliness, whatever you subscribe to. You work towards that every single year. And really, if you're really serious about it, you work towards that every single day, right? Okay, Cam, you getting real serious right now. Okay, let's make this less serious, right? You say I want to get in better shape. You say I want to be healthier. I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of feeling sluggish. I'm tired of not having as much energy as I need to. Okay. So that means you got to set the mark. What is the goal? You can't just say you just want to be healthier. You got to say, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want a six pack. I want I want my butt to go from, for my ladies out there, I want my good butt to grow 2 inches. You know what I'm saying? I want my waistline to go in 2 inches. I want to be able to run a marathon. I want to be able to run a 5K, not even a marathon. I want to be able to run a mile in 10 minutes. You got to set these target goals so that you can really start working with them. Because the thing about it, what happens is when you don't set a particular goal, and this is in all areas of your life, career, physical, mental, financial, when you don't set a specific goal, like a specific mark that you're trying to hit, you end up settling for the minimum progress. You're saying, oh, well, yeah, I'm in a better situation than I was yesterday. I guess that's good enough. Or you don't put as much effort into reaching that goal, into reaching that mark. You know what I'm saying? So you say you want to lose 20 pounds. So when you lose 5 pounds, you get comfortable. You say that you want to get in better shape, but you only eat a salad 1 day a week instead of 4 days a week. You don't drink those protein shakes. You don't work out 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. You don't do the necessary steps to reach those big targets and then also maintain those big targets. Because once you get there, here's the thing about goals. Let me back up. The goals that we want sometimes require us to become a version of ourselves so we can sustain that level of excellence, right? So let's say you say you're a business owner and you say, I want to make 6 figures in my business. Okay, great. What type of person do you need to become a 6-figure earner, right? Do you need to become more restrictive of your time, right? Do you need to stop looking at stuff on YouTube? Do you need to stop questioning your activity? Do you need to change things and become a decisive decision maker that has an idea, puts it into action, and immediately puts it in your business and goes out and executes it? Do you need to become a leader? And I'm not talking about a grand leader. I'm talking about somebody who can hold people accountable in your business to do the things that you need them to do so that it helps the entire business. A lot of us aren't. Some of y'all aren't business owners. In your career, you say you want to level up to that next role. You want the promotion. What version of yourself do you need to become? Do you need to become more responsible? Do you need to be, do you not just need to be on time walking in through the door? Do you need to start being 10 minutes early? Which means you have to go to bed sooner. Which means when you get up earlier in the morning, you're spending your time getting ready, getting yourself together, turning in your reports on time, turning in everything that you need early, actually. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes the mark that we set for ourselves are so high that it demands for us to become a better version of ourselves. Demands it. Think about it with MJ. This ain't a sports podcast, but we're going to go here for a second. For those of y'all who watched The Last Dance, if you haven't watched The Last Dance on Netflix or ESPN, I highly recommend, if you're trying to grow to a personal level in your life, go watch that. MJ was scoring champion, was an MVP, dominant on the court. But he realized, I can score as many points as I can, but if I don't get other people on my team to score points, if I don't get other people on my team to be as tough as I am, to be, dominant, to be to be able to fight the bad boy Pistons, the other teams that were bullying us, if I don't get that team mentality, then we're not going to go anywhere. So he had to learn how to elevate not only himself, but elevate his teammates. He had to become a greater version of himself to not only so that he can dominate, but that his team dominates. You feel me? And so for you who wants to grow to that next level, both personally and professionally. We're not just talking about money. We're not just talking about business. We're talking about, as yourself, as a person who gives, as a person who is happier, as a person who has, mental clarity, who has peace in their life. That will require you to become a better version of yourself. And you're the only one who can answer that. You're the one who can look in the mirror and say, yo, Cam, this is me talking to myself now. Cam, you don't need to have 15 Oreos in one setting. Because I would Oreos. Hey, if you are a Lovelace, if you're my family member, our love for Oreos. But eating 15 Oreos in one setting is not good, especially if you do it late at night when your body is settling down, getting ready to go to sleep. Nah, man, you can settle for 5 Oreos and a cup of milk. You don't need that many Oreos. Cam, you need to make sure that you're putting it on your schedule, because if it's not going on the schedule, the chances of it getting done goes down dramatically, right? What areas of your life do you need to look in your mirror and say, okay, I'm trying to become this. I want to do this big thing in my life, in my business, in my marriage, in my health, in my finances, in my spiritual health, in all these areas that I'm setting the mark. I'm beginning with the end in mind, where I'm trying to get to. What version of yourself do you need to become to make those happen? And when you start there, then you can start moving the pieces. You can say, okay, I'm not in a great healthy space. Okay, I can't get to the gym right now because it's COVID-19. I'm skeptical. I can't. Okay, let me back up. Let me start adding more fruits and vegetables into my diet. Instead of snacking on the sugary, the sweets, the salty, let me try to cycle in an apple. Let me add an orange. Let me add some grapes. Let me add some fresh pineapples. Let me try some pure juice instead of the Kool-Aid. Let me try to make these slight shifts where I can right now, because you're not trying to climb the whole mountain at once. You're not trying to jump from here to there, because when you try to jump, you don't learn the lessons. You don't become the version of yourself that you need to be. And that's why you see a whole lot of people who jump and skip the process. They fall because they haven't learned the lessons. And that's what we want you to do, is to learn the lesson that you need to hit the marks that you need to do. So what do you need to do? Well, first tip that I'm going to give you, this is what I want to challenge everybody who's listening, everybody who's watching. This is what I want to challenge y'all to do. Make a home field advantage. Make a home field advantage. Now, the Super Bowl was this past Sunday, right? Tom Brady clearly took home the victory, but I'm willing to wager that even though, like, I'm sure they had a solid game plan to beat the Chiefs, they went out, executed it perfectly. I'm willing to bet money that they were able to execute that much better because they were at home. This is the only time in the history of Super Bowl that the Super Bowl was hosted in one of the team's cities. It was in Tampa Bay. So that meant Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, all the players on offense, all the players on defense, all the players on special teams, and the coaches all got to sleep in their own beds. They got to live in their own houses. They got to eat whatever they wanted to eat. They got to prepare because they were at home. Whereas Kansas City, coming all the way from Kansas, flying in, got interrupted by COVID tests. So some of the players had to wait. So that means they couldn't move for a second. You got to do contact tracing. That means everything stops. Your flow is interrupted when you're on the road. That's why a lot of road teams don't perform as well because everything gets thrown off. You might get in late at night. You might have to your sleep might get interrupted. Your routine, your warm-up routine might get interrupted. But here's the thing. We all need to make a home field advantage in your house. What does that mean? From the moment you wake up, make a home field routine for yourself. Before you go to work, before you wake up those kids, before you do the major things that you need to get to, walk yourself through a home routine. Create your own home field advantage. For some of y'all, that looks like praise and worship. For some of y'all, that looks like reading. For some of y'all, that looks like planning out the things that you need to do in the day. Some of y'all, that looks like actually getting a solid breakfast, not necessarily a heavy breakfast, but a solid breakfast to start your energy days off right. Wake up creating that home field advantage that's going to get you right. Mostly, I definitely want to challenge you in your mental area specifically. Something that's going to get you starting off the day in a good mood. Because the thing about it is, we let bad things happen. We let bad moments ruin the whole day. Right? Let's say something bad happens at work. Somebody ticks you off. Somebody pisses you off. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. And you say, oh, man, it's been a bad day. You just had a bad moment. But when you wake up with the spirit of this is the day that the Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad in it. Today is going to be a great day. Not, oh, it's Monday. I got to go back to work. I got to handle this. No. Wake up with that spirit of Eric Thomas saying, thank God it's Monday. Create your own routine to get yourself in the flow, in the mindset that you need to go seize the day. Reflect on that goal, that end in mind goal, and say, yeah, we attacking today. Yeah, we're gonna get ourselves in a flow today. We're gonna go. The goal was to make 6 figures. Okay, we're gonna make 5 figures this month. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get these reports submitted. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. All right, let's go. Listen to music. I do it. I have a whole playlist on my phone called Rise and Grind. Different artists, little ratchet, little gospel, little motivational. But it's what I need to physically get my mind off of how I'm feeling, especially if it's early in the morning. But to get me in the mindset is like, okay, time to rise, grind, go to work. Get that devotional reading in. Do the things that you need to build that home field advantage. Then go attack the day. Then go seize the day. That's my challenge to you this week. Work on improving your home field advantage. What are the things that you need in your home to create an environment of peace, to create an environment of hustle, to create an environment of grind, to control the outcomes that you need to happen, right? So I want you to really look at, is my home a place, is my home a home field advantage, or is it a war zone? Oh, snap. Is it a place that conditions me to go out and get it? Or is it a place that conditions me to stay still and go into laziness? Is it a place where I can get things done? Do I have an office? Do I have a place that I can go in and get work done? Because for me, it's the office that you're seeing me in right now. I come into this office every day when I'm about to start working. If I ain't working, more than likely I'm in the bed, or I'm on the couch in the living room, or I'm in the kitchen at the kitchen table eating, chilling. But when I walk into this office, I know piece of my brain switches. It's time to work. What can I do today? Have my laptop here, got my mic, everything set up. Let's go talk to clients. Let's go get new clients. Let's go make things happen. Create that home field advantage that you need to thrive. You trying to get yourself in better shape? Yeah. Put something in front of your mirror. Put something up so that it physically stimulates you, mentally stimulates you, spiritually stimulates you, to get you up to go out and seize that day. So that's my challenge to you this week. Begin with the end in mind. What is the end of your particular area of your life, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's spiritual, whether it's family? I thought I forgot about them. The end in mind that you want to get to, the big goals, the big targets, the marks that we are all trying to reach. What are those? Define those. Don't forget about it just because it's 2021. Don't forget about those New Year's resolutions that we all set. Let's redefine those goals. Let's take a step back. Let's look at those goals. What is the end that we're trying to reach to? Second thing, what do I need to do to reach those goals? Who do I need to become to reach that mark? How much do I have to push myself to go out and make these things happen? And last, what home field advantage do I need to create to go out and make those things happen? You're trying to get all A, you in school listening to this, what do you need to get your grades up? How many hours do you need to put? Do you need to go to Bed Bath & Body Works, get a new candle that when you smell the specific scent, you know it's study time? Something that eases and relaxes your tension when it comes to these subjects, that eases your anxiety, that will uplift you out of your depression when it's hard to get out of bed? What do you need to create that home field advantage so that you can go out and make your version of the good life? It's my challenge to you this week. Everybody that is listening to my voice, everybody that's watching me on the screen, do what you need to do to make these things happen so that we can go out and make 2021 a great year. All right. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're listening to this on iTunes, if you're listening to this on Spotify, if you're listening to this on any audio platform, please do me a favor and leave me an honest review, 5-star review, of course, so that we can continue to grow in the podcast rankings. What else? Oh, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead, give me a thumbs up, smash that like button, comment your favorite part of the podcast, and share this with somebody who really, really needs this. All right, y'all, that's all I got. Coming to you every single Thursday to help you create your version of the good life. Until then, we'll see you next week.